Welcome. My name is Selena Brown of Pramana Wellness, and today we'll be taking a 90-minute journey that will weave in and out of meditation, journaling, and reflecting back and looking forward. In West African tradition, there's this bird, this symbol known as Sankofa. Sankofa invites us to look back and bring the best of what has come before us as we fly forward and move into the future. And in this particular session, we're going to be thinking about and reflecting on this transitional period between summer and autumn as we enter into the fall equinox. Make sure that you have your journal with you, and then also make sure that you have something very comfortable to either lay on or sit on. For most of our meditations, we'll be probably sitting. You're welcome to do a supine or reclined practice. We'll begin with a arriving meditation, and that will last about 10 minutes. But for the in-between meditations, they'll be about 5 minutes. So for those briefer practices, you may just want to sit near your journal to come in and out of that sitting practice. At the end of the practice, we'll go into a deeper relaxation. So that's especially going to be a wonderful invitation to really settle in, maybe lying down, having some cushions, blankets nearby. Without further ado, let's get started. So, making sure that you have everything that you need with you. Let's begin to arrive. And in that invitation to arrive, we can start with the eyes open. Begin to allow your gaze to move away from the screen, noticing what's around you in your room, in this space that you're in now. Taking a moment to allow the eyes to rest wherever your attention is called. And then shifting the attention to something else. And something else. And something else. And as you continue to allow your attention to shift around your space, take a moment to look above you. Find the windows, doors. Look around what's on the floor, on the walls, and take a moment to look behind you, noticing what's at your back. And when you're ready, allowing the gaze to settle, finding a comfortable posture, a sweet seat, sukhasana perhaps. And if you're choosing to keep the eyes open for this meditative practice, you're welcome to do so, and just dropping the gaze and allowing it to soften, maybe looking a few feet ahead of you, or if it feels supportive, allowing the eyes to just gently close, knowing that you can open them at any time during this meditation or any of our meditative practices today. And as we begin to spiral the attention inward, noticing what catches your attention here. Just like when we were looking around the room, and allow the attention to settle where it may. We can do the same thing here with our inner focus. So perhaps noticing any particular scent, any particular sense of sight, light, pattern. Noticing any particular sounds. And acknowledging that this space, as we begin, is almost a transitional space in and of itself between the outside attention and the innermost attention. This transitional space between noticing the sounds around you, the scents in the space, maybe the colors and the lights, and then transitioning the attention to the inner space. Maybe noticing any physical sensations that are most notable. Sometimes we find that one of the most notable physical sensations is the sensation of the breath. And if that invitation feels welcoming to you, maybe finding where the breath feels most obvious. And that could be the sensation of the stomach expanding and contracting, or the chest rising and falling. Could be the sensation of air moving in and out of the nose. Just noticing any physical sensation that attracts your attention right now. And perhaps for you in this body right now, it isn't the sense of the breath at all, but something else. A tightness, a warmth, a tingling. What physical sensations can you note and rest your attention for a few breaths? And here in this inner space, there are many, many, many focal points. We've begun with the physical sensations, but we can also be aware of thoughts. And perhaps in these few minutes already, you've noticed thoughts weaving in and out of this attention. And just taking a moment to be curious about what thoughts might be here. Maybe they're the kind of thoughts that keep you here. Maybe they're the kind of thoughts that are drifting your attention elsewhere. And just noticing. And in our practice today, we will be bringing in specific thoughts, memories, intentions as we practice together. So as we begin to bring that attention to thoughts, perhaps there is a place where physical sensation and thoughts can meet. Maybe as you are thinking, there is a physical sensation. And it might be a sense of thinking being held somewhere in the mind or in the head. It might be tied to one of the senses. Maybe as you think, you hear sensations, sound. Or perhaps as you think, you see images or words. Just noticing the place where the thoughts and the sensations in the physical body become aligned, where they meet each other. And perhaps that thinking feels like it takes place somewhere near the eyes or in the upper right corner of the mind, whatever it happens to be, can you locate it for yourself in this moment? Can you observe the thought in a sense of watching it rather than perhaps being inside of it? How is that a unique experience? Playing with that for a few rounds of breath. Perhaps allowing the thought to arise and seeing if you can observe that thought, or noticing what it feels like to be in the thought, surrounded by the thought. And some thoughts are easier to watch go by, and some, they just envelop us. And as we move towards the guided part of our practice today, there may be quite a few thoughts that feel enveloping. And as those moments arise, coming back to the practice of noticing where in the body this is happening. As we prepare to move towards our first journaling practice today, here in this quiet inner space, taking a few moments to bring into this space the sense of this past summer. When you think about the summer of 2021, this particular summer, what comes up for you? Perhaps physical sensation, a tightness, of warmth somewhere in the body. Perhaps the sound of particular voices of people that you have interacted with this summer. Perhaps images of things that you saw, places you happened to be this summer. And perhaps as you think about the summer, there's a sense of either longing or a pushing away. We think of this as clinging, wanting to hold on to something, or aversion, wanting to push something away. If any of those qualities of sensations or emotions or thoughts are with you, just noticing them for a few moments. Trying to identify where you're experiencing them. Just like any thoughts, can you feel a sense of where those thoughts happen to be living in your body right now? Maybe in the head, maybe in the eyes, maybe in the chest, stomach, just noticing what's here as you begin to allow the sensations, the memories, the thoughts about summer to wash over you. Let's take a few breaths together. We will take these breaths in a particular way, and we will do this together a few times during our practice. So without rushing it forward, at the bottom of your next exhale, take a slow, steady breath in through the nose, feeling that control as you bring it in and maintaining that sense of control as you breathe out through the nose. Take one more breath in this way, slow, steady, sipping the breath in through the nose, but this time separate the lips and silently allow the breath to escape through the mouth, noticing a little opening happening, but still a sense of control, and then inhaling again through the nose. This time, exhale with a sigh, completely releasing, no control. Letting the breath breathe itself, and take a moment now to maybe rub your palms together, creating a little warmth and heat. And if the eyes are closed, maybe cupping the hands over the eyes for a moment just to create a little warmth, a little darkness. To perhaps flutter the eyes open, but keep the gaze down. So if your eyes are already gazing down, we've caught up to you. If your hands are over the eyes, allowing them to come down. And now just take a moment before you move to take in what's in your peripheral vision and find your way to your journal. Picking up your journal now. And taking the next few minutes to write about anything that came up for you during that practice. First thoughts, impressions, images. It can be about the practice itself first or at any point. And then taking some time to go ahead and write about your summer. Any images, memories, sensations, thoughts. And just taking a few minutes to write down any and everything that comes to you about this summer. And really allowing yourself to write freely. No need to edit or even use punctuation. Doesn't even have to be in complete sentences. You may choose to not use words at all, allowing the creativity to pour from you onto the page, however it wants to. About 5 minutes left in this journaling session to write down all the things that come to you about the summer. What were your intentions for the summer? Did you have any? What were the surprises? Any sweetness? any challenges. Allowing the words and the images to pour onto the page, and also noticing as you write and what physical sensations are coming up for you now in the memory. Where are you reliving this summer in your body? About 2.5 minutes to go. Taking about a minute now to finish up anything that is at the top of your mind as you think about this summer, knowing that you can come back to this writing later, and maybe just jotting down some shorthand of things that you want to come back to, or things that you're ready to be finished with. About 30 seconds left now. And as you finish this last little bit of sketching or the last few words, go ahead and set your journal off to the side. We'll be coming back to it 3 times more, so not too far away. And making your way back to a comfortable seat. And we'll drop right back in. Bringing the attention back to that inner space. And as we get ready to deepen here, whether the eyes are open or closed, just remembering what's around you. Again, taking that mental journey around your space. Even with the eyes closed, recalling what's in front of you, above you, to the sides and behind you. Noticing and remembering what you're sitting on and what's on the floor around you. Maybe taking that brief moment to transition to the inner world by noticing once more any sounds, scents, the things that are in your immediate space before spiraling in, noticing what's here inside, physical sensations. And what's left over after that writing? Any warmth or tingling, thoughts lingering? And what is the quality of this transition? This space between, as we sit in the space between seasons, in the space between writing and meditating. We are always in a transition. That space between each breath. That space between each thought. But of course, the word transition itself is so powerful. It means so much to so many. What does transition mean to you? What does it mean to be transitioning in your life right now? And as you hear that question, what happens in your body? What happens in your heart, mind, physical sensations of emotions and thoughts? Physical sensations related to the thoughts. What does it mean to be in your transitioning body right now? Breathing in this transitioning body right now. Right now, in this temporal space, this transitional space between the past and the future, this now, this transition. And with so much to capture and hold our attention related to this topic, let's get ready. Get ready to come out of this deep inner place and back to our journal. And on our way there, let's breathe. Take the transition now back from deep inside to back outside. So let's take that trio of breaths again. The bottom of your next exhale, sipping the breath in long and full through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Inhaling again through the nose. Separating the lips and silently allowing the breath to escape through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling with complete freedom as you sigh it out. Taking your time, maybe rubbing the palms together, maybe just rubbing the fingers as you get ready to flutter the eyes open if they were closed, and taking in the space immediately around you as you find your journal again. Picking up the book and the pen or pencil and beginning to write. to sketch. What is transition for you right now? Taking some time to let out all of the poetry and the prose, the images, lines, sketches, doodles, as you think about transition. Defining it for yourself based on your experience of transition. And noticing in the writing what is happening in the body. And what emotions are coming up for you along with these thoughts. Another couple of minutes just to write down any ideas or thoughts or memories or hypotheses around this idea of transition itself before we will focus in a little bit more on specific kinds of transition. And as you bring the specific topic of transition as a whole, a transition in your life, maybe coming back to this idea in a little while, so jotting down anything that you'll want to revisit. Now let's take a few moments to think about the specifics of transitioning through the seasons. What does the fall represent to you? As we transition from summer into fall, what are some of the first signs for you that autumn has arrived? Things that you see, hear, things that you do every year around this time, in ways that your body, your heart, your mind shift with this season. Just taking a few minutes now to write about what fall represents to you. As we transition into this season, maybe as you write about these things that you associate with the fall, you notice what happens in the body, what emotions come up. Any specific sense of clinging or desire, and a sense of wanting, longing. Any sense of aversion, what you don't want. Making room for all of it to be here. And writing, sketching, drawing as the images pour forth from your mind. No editing. Taking about 3 more minutes. Is there anything specific about this fall, the fall of 2021, that feels particularly important to you? And what are you letting go of? What are you moving towards in this transition? About 1.5 minutes now. Really noticing what you've conjured for yourself. Maybe scent memories, images, physical sensations. Taking note of it all. About 30 seconds left now. Writing down any last thoughts, remembering that you can always come back to it. Final images you want to get out of your head and onto the page. And when you're ready, gently placing your journal off to the side and settling back in, getting cozy, preparing to come back inside, glancing around, and coming back in. Noticing what's here after that writing. physical sensations, emotions, lingering thoughts. And as we sit in this place that is the equinox, we are here in this place of balance, where the day and the night find their match. Neither longer nor shorter than the other. And we transition, for those of you who identify with the astrological signs, we move from Virgo season into Libra. And Libra itself is symbolized by the scales, balance. As you hear this word balance, what happens in your body? Maybe a shift or a settling, maybe a release or a tightening. Balance. What does that word mean in your body, in your heart, mind, emotionally, cognitively? What do you think when you think about balance? And maybe this first image is of two halves that make a perfect whole. Maybe it's more of a yin and yang. Things that are not exactly the same, but that complement each other. But balance doesn't always mean 50-50, especially when we think about our life, the way that we are constructing a life, co-creating along with the universe. What does balance mean for you? What do you maybe need a little bit more of to feel balanced? Is there anything that maybe needs to be dialed back to bring your life into balance? Beginning to take note of what thoughts come up in response to those words. Remembering to note any physical sensations that arise in response to those thoughts. As we get ready to bring this idea, explore this concept of balance in our journals, let's get ready to transition back out of this space of the inner world into the outer world by breathing together again. So when you're ready, let's take that trio of breaths, beginning in through the nose and out through the nose, feeling where that constraint is held in the body in order to do that. Inhaling again through the nose, opening the mouth but keeping the breath silent as it escapes, noticing where there's constraint in the body in order to allow for that. One more time, in through the nose, and inviting freedom as you sigh, completely exhale and release. Noticing where you feel that freedom in the body. And maybe coming back to the space by either rubbing your palms, rubbing your fingers, or maybe rubbing your hands on your legs. And when you're ready, fluttering the eyes open if they were closed and finding your way back to your journal. Opening your book, finding your pages, and begin with anything that came up in your mind as we spoke about balance, as we thought about balance, as we felt the emotions related to this concept of balance. And after you allow the immediate thoughts to pour onto the page, take a few minutes to really investigate. How can you bring more balance into your life this season? Be specific. Are there things that you can do more of? Things that you can say no to that will help bring your life into a sense of balance? Aligning around this concept, remembering that it doesn't mean exact same amounts of everything, but rather the right quantities of energy in different areas to create a unique composition just for you for this season. What do you need this fall? Perhaps you may find it helpful to bring to mind one or two of your favorite ways to define balance. So, for example, maybe the concept of mind, body, and soul. Maybe the concept of inner and outer. Whatever way you choose to play with this idea of categories of balance. Taking a few moments, a few minutes to write about different activities related to each of these. So for example, if you were taking mind, body, and soul, maybe asking yourself or theorizing, what are some of the things that you do, activities that you do that help support your mind? Maybe you're learning something new, maybe you explore, maybe you play puzzle games. What do you do to care for your body? Maybe you get out and walk in nature. Take note of the shifting seasons. And maybe that feels like it feeds your soul. So however you want to define these categories, exploring for the next couple of minutes how you can choose to define balance in your life by selecting what are the areas of your life that you want to make sure you're paying attention to. What needs to be included in order for your life to feel balanced? About 3.5 minutes left. Remembering that it's okay if only partially constructed ideas come to you. You can always come back to it later, just taking note of what's here right now. About a minute left now. Jotting down any final ideas that you'll want to come back to, declarations around this idea of balance. And when you're ready, settling your journal off to the side, we'll come back to it one more time. Getting cozy once more. For the final brief sit before our final relaxation. Taking your time to come right back in. Transitioning back to the inner space. Arriving on that path, however feels supportive to you. Eyes open or closed. Remembering to catalog what's around you. And dropping in what's here And what remains after that writing? Noticing any physical sensations, any emotions, thoughts, or energy around the thoughts themselves. Just noticing. And now we'll begin to take each of these things that you have spent time reflecting on, beginning with what you're taking with you from the summer, the sense of transition in your life in general, and as you move towards this new season, and this idea of balance and how you define balance for yourself. And we'll begin to set intentions. When you hear this word intention, what happens in your body? Does anything open? Does anything tighten? Do you feel warmth, tingling, excitement, freedom, emotions that come up around this idea, this topic, this word that is intentions? And what thoughts arise? What pops into your mind as you think about setting an intention or creating a set of intentions for this season? What do you want to move towards? What will you create? What do you seek to honor? What will you renew? What will you let go of? Noticing the thoughts and whether those thoughts feel observable or enveloping. Noticing the emotions that arise from these thoughts. Noticing where in the body these emotions, thoughts, live as sensation. And let's take that trio of breaths together. At the bottom of your next exhale, take your time to sip the breath in through the nose and release it back through the nose. Inhaling again through the nose. And a silent breath out through the mouth. Another inhale through the nose. Exhale with a sigh. And taking your preferred transitional movement and action back out into this space. Finding your journal one last time. And taking the next 10 minutes for this last bit of writing. What are your intentions? And what do you want What will you create? What are you moving towards? And what is coming to fruition? Letting it all flow onto the page in whatever form feels true. And letting yourself experiment and explore. Dream big. Be limitless. What do you want to see happen over these next 3 months as we move from this place of equinox, equal length of days and nights, to shorter days and longer nights? What will you do with this time of the year, in this moment in your life? And let's not forget, we do not walk this path alone. And so in these last 5 minutes, make sure to also include your intentions for your relationships, the people who will be with you on this journey. How will you honor yourself? And how will you honor your loved ones? How do you want to show up for yourself? How do you want to show up for them? about 3 more minutes now. Perhaps taking these last few minutes to transform your intentions into declarative statements. I am, I will. Or maybe distilling them down to single words. Love, presence, joy. Whatever resonates for you, whatever encodes these intentions in your muscle memory. About a minute left now. This last minute to get the final bit of juiciness from these thoughts, these emotions, these sensations, and get them onto the page, remembering that you can come back to them later. About 30 seconds left now. And this time, the invitation is to put your journal aside and now settle into a deeply comfortable position as we go into our deepest relaxation in order to really encode these intentions into our muscle memory. So I invite you to lie down, remembering there's nothing to see. Maybe even resting on some blankets or pillows. Maybe even taking a little eye pillow. Wrap yourself up, get cozy, and settle in. So, hopefully you've found a cozy position now. Taking a moment to begin in the transitional space of our 5 senses. First, recalling the room that you're in. In your mind's eye, seeing the walls, the ceiling, floor, its windows and door. And noticing, what do you see with your eyes closed, if they are such? Any colors, light, images. And what do you hear? Any sounds far away? Any sounds closer in? Any sounds right here in your body home? And what can you smell? Are there any perfumes or scents, earthy, floral, human, air? And what can you capture with your sense of smell? Are there any lingering tastes? Anything you can detect in the mouth? And the sensation of the mouth itself, the physical sensation. Is there warmth? Do you detect how dry or wet the tongue happens to be? As we transition into the sense of touch, noticing any tension in the face. What are your lips doing? What is your tongue doing? Do your cheeks feel relaxed? Your eyelids? And what about your ears? Your forehead? Is there any sensation detectable at the crown of your head? And where is the back of your head in contact with a pillow or floor if you are lying down? Can you get an imagined sense, a felt sense of the space between the back of the neck and either the floor or the wall behind you? How much space is there? And what does it mean to sense space, emptiness? And what about the physical sensation of your throat? As you breathe, can you feel the air moving in and out of the passageways? Is there a sense of openness or tightness or both in the throat. Allowing the attention to melt to the collarbones and over the tops of the shoulders to the shoulder blades. Allowing the attention to ease from the back of the body back through the rib cage into the heart space. And melting the attention down to the solar plexus where the base of the rib cage happens to be. Noticing any sensation that might be detectable here of your breath or anything else. Allowing that attention to melt through the body, past the spine into the middle back. Noticing the middle back area of the body. Muscles, bones. Melting the attention to the lower back now. If there is that curvature, does it feel similar to the curvature that you found in the back of the neck? Does it feel more pronounced or less so? Any sensations to be noted here in the lower back? And weaving the attention back through the body, past the navel into the belly. And settling the attention here in the belly. Noticing any sense of openness or constraint in the belly. And sinking the attention to the hips, feeling where the body is in contact with the floor, the cushion, the bed, wherever you happen to be resting right now, feeling the points of contact between your body and your support. Melting the attention down over the legs, the thighs, the hamstrings, down to the knees, inner and outer parts of the knees, down to the calves and the shins, the inner and outer ankle, the heel of the foot, sole of the foot, up through the top of the foot, and to each and every one of your toes. And allow this attention on the toes to also trigger attention to the fingers, feeling all of your phalanges at once. And holding room for that expansive attention from the toes to the fingers to encourage you to bring in a sensation of the entire body. Feel the soles of the feet, the palms of the hands, and the top of the head all at once. Breathe in fully. Allow the breath to fill the entirety of your body. Exhale, completely releasing all of the air from the body. Twice more. Inhale, envisioning your entire body filling completely with air. Exhale, squeezing out that which you no longer need. One more breath. In this intentional way, inhale fully. And this time as you exhale, envision yourself sinking, melting into the bed or the ground or the cushion or the chair. And continue to breathe in this way now. Inhaling, feeling the body, and exhaling, settling into your support, getting deeper. And allowing the breath to do its thing in this way. Bringing to mind once more now your intentions, the words, the phrases, the images that you hold for yourself for this season. Here in this moment, in this space of ease, breathe in all that you seek. Breathe out and feel it settle into your being. Inhale, bringing in that which you need to support you. Exhale and remember you are already supported. Inhaling, bringing the attention to your intentions. Exhaling, encoding them into this muscle memory, into this body home. Here in this moment where you are safe and you are held. And taking that for a few more rounds if it feels supportive. And letting it go when you're ready. Taking that inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Again, inhale through the nose. Silent breath out through the mouth. Once more, inhaling through the nose. Exhale with a sigh. Find more ease and freedom as you release. And now just let the breath breathe itself. We'll begin to bring our attention back into this space by taking a journey through the senses. Let's find those points of contact throughout the whole body now. Each of the places where your body is in contact with itself or with the support upon which you are resting. Feel those points of contact, those pressure points. Come back to that sense of taste, noticing what lingering flavors are in the mouth. Any scents that you can detect in the air. And sounds. Sounds beyond this recording, the sound of my voice. What else is in this room with you? Maybe the sounds just outside the room. Maybe sounds further out. And bringing the attention back to the eyelids, noticing colors or light. And I'll offer a couple of instructions depending on where your body is in space. If you're sitting, hold there for a moment. If you're lying down, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, curl onto your side. You can pick whichever side you want, maybe curling onto the right, curling onto the left. If you are sitting, stay sitting and breathe here, feeling your breath move through the body. If you are laying on your side, take a deep breath in. Exhale, sink a little deeper and let your arm drape over your body, placing the palm on the ground. And if your eyes are closed, they can stay closed. Gently press yourself up to a sitting position. It doesn't matter which direction you're facing. Let's all find our seat now. We'll take that trio of breaths one last time together. When you're ready, inhale through the nose. And exhale slow and steady through the nose. Inhale again through the nose, then exhale with a silent breath through the mouth. One last time, inhale through the nose. Exhale with a sigh and find even more release. Maybe rubbing the palms together. After a deep relaxation, it might be worth taking a little extra time, maybe cupping the hands over the eyes, and when you're ready, fluttering them open, starting with the gaze down, and then perhaps releasing the hands, taking in your peripheral vision, and this time beginning to explore what's around you in your room, noticing what captures your attention now. And perhaps, eventually, finding your way back to the screen. I wish you an incredible transition into this season. May your intentions guide you. My name is Selena Brown of Pramana Wellness. Be well.